Good morning. How are we today? Welcome to TWK. I'm Cam. I'll be with you for the next couple of hours. We'll be deciphering trades, we'll be looking at the market, and we will be taking live trades. So, welcome. Strap yourselves in. We're going to have a great session this morning. The weather is absolutely gorgeous out there. The market's been doing whatever the market's been doing. So, I hope you're well. Where are you joining me from? Let me know. Give me some info. Say hello. Just dragging my cup of coffee across, right? So at 5 past, we will be taking the first of the trade cards, which is our machine learning fully automated system that tries to predict into the future. It takes the past and see what's been happening. Over 30 million data points. So try and give us an idea of where the gold market is going. That's the only thing we trade, and that's the only thing that we will ever trade. Good morning, Raj. Lovely to have you here with us today. So without further ado, let's have a look, see what the market's doing. So this is my start of day. So if I was starting to trade now, this is what I would be doing, okay? So I would bring up my chart, which I'm going to share with you in a second. So there's the chart, and I would go to the day. What has the day been doing? Okay, day we can clearly see it's been selling 40.22 to 40.65. Yeah, about a $40 movement, not an awful lot. And then I always look at this, latest news, gold falls as the Mid-East conflict dims easing inflation hopes. What does that tell you? It's falling. Mid-East conflict is dimming, which means it's reducing and easing inflation hopes. So dims the hope that inflation is going to actually come down. Okay, that's the big thing for the Americans, because inflation target is set by the Fed, and it has dual mandate, I believe, of employment and of keeping inflation in check, which is exactly the same as the BOE has, and it's exactly the same as the ECB has. That's the Bank of England and European Central Bank. Okay, so I look at that. What's that doing? What is it? Where is it in comparison to these? Do not be hurrying into trades. I don't do that. I'm not rushing in to get into a trade. Okay, so I want to know where I am. If you go on the day chart, it'll also give you these two little flags, and that tells you retail sales month on month. MOM is month on month, right, at 130. So these things move the market. So red folder is marked by that red line there. So it moves the market. Whether it moves it a lot, whether it moves it a little bit, is anybody's guess. So then we've got another one. There's 2 of them. So we've got on this one. That Michigan consumer sentiment. Michigan consumer sentiment is quite a big thing in America. Building permits. How many building permits have been issued? Housing starts. How many new houses have been started in the last month? Right? All red folder news. Why do they matter? Because they point and tell us an indicator of where inflation's going, where the American economy is. And in all reality, everybody can jump up and down all they like. That's the only economy that really matters when it comes to gold. Okay? That's the only thing that really matters when it comes to gold. That's what moves it. I'm just going to move my camera. Yeah? That's the only thing that really moves it. The rest is just nonsense and shouting. Okay? So that's a little bit of background of how I start to trade. And then if you like those habits, by all means, take those and keep them, okay? I'm not doing that on purpose. It's just my mouse doing whatever nonsense it wants to do. So then I look at the day, okay? That's already the hour. What's the hours doing? And then I go to the market open last night. Market opens at 11 o'clock. So what it did was it... I just seen Reg's message, that's all. That's Wednesday at 3 o'clock. Reg confusing me now. Where are we? There we go. So it did nothing last night. I was actually in the market last night. Yeah. Did nothing there. Then it went down. Great night's trade or day's trading by 3 o'clock this morning. And then it did this. So a couple of I was buying and then back to selling again, okay? So as you know, we live in the 5 minutes and we live on the 1 minute, right? Why do we live there? Because we scalp the market. What the technique that we use at trading is known as scalping, which means quick in and out entries. That's what we do. It's 5 parts. I'm going to take that and I'm going to talk to you later. So let's see where the business is going. First one, always check your time frame. It's selling, by the way. Check your time frame on there. Make sure you've got that right, and make sure that the prices are where they say they are. Because sometimes, if you haven't refreshed, it takes a while. Okay. So yeah, it's a sell. The market, the candle is red, so you can take that. Okay, it's been climbing. Went to 31. Looks like it may be coming down again. Okay, so that's where that is. So yes, we live on the 1 minute and the 5 minutes. It's great scalping territory, and we can see what's going on when that's happening. Okay, so that's the way we trade. Now, yesterday we had a couple of really slow sessions, but within those slow sessions was contained TP1s, TP2s, and some 3s and 4s. I don't think we did 5 yesterday, although I think 1 may have, right? So if memory serves me right. So what does that actually mean? That means that during those sessions that you had with me yesterday, you could have traded for the day and be done. Okay? Trading isn't something where you need to sit at your screen all day long. But at the same time, it's not something that can be done in 5 minutes. Okay? I don't subscribe to any of that easy money nonsense because it doesn't exist. Easy money exists for a while until it's gone again, right? That's my experience. So now where are you? So in terms of the market, 27 is TP1. So if you took that trade, I didn't. I'm already in some trades in the long haul. Looking at the market, where it's going to go, I think it's going to sell for the day. There'll be some retracement. I generally think it's going to fall a little bit. I've got 3 or 4 profitable trades on the board already this morning before I join you. Let me just check in with you. Yeah, we're just a whisker under 1%. And then when I'm live trading with you, 1% is good enough for me. Yeah. If you're enjoying your beverage of the morning, whatever it is. So I tend to drink hot water when I get up, a couple of glasses when I'm working, doing my research, preparing for this, and then more water during the day. Okay. The other thing we started doing is we started standing up. So if you're trading for a couple of hours with me, can you stand up? I actually have one of these desks that does that. I'm no good doing that because you can't see it. It does that. So it raises and lowers. So I try and do half an hour sitting down, half an hour standing up. It's extremely good. I certainly feel better for it because sitting down for 2 hours is not clever. So that's decided it wants to go up. So always use your stop losses. Sometimes you can be generous with stop losses and sometimes you can't. It depends on your own risk tolerance. I'm quite generous because I think that it strangles a lot of trades. Sometimes when the market, even if it's going down, the market will go up before it does that. Yeah, so having your stop too tight sometimes doesn't help you. Yeah, so have a think about that. So Raj's messages, looked at the morning, my prediction was selling day, but anything can change. Chapter 11 has been read, positive day ahead, fantastic. Don't predict. It's only one thing. Don't say I think, don't say I predict. Okay, and call me up on it as well when I do it. Okay, because we're all humans. We need to stop thinking, right? We need to start being objective. We have a tool here that has no emotion, just looks at data. Yeah, the only thing it looks at is data, and we need to be like that. I was watching the England game last night. So sorry to see us crash down, but we were beaten by a better organized team. Okay, they were better organized, they were mentally better prepared, and they executed much better than we did. Right? I thought we had them at certain times, but when we failed to get that second goal, I thought we were going to suffer. Putting on defensive players, 40, 50 minutes or whatever it is, they're going to kill you. They're too good. They're world champions. and they're world champions for a reason. You saw that yesterday. But then how do you apply that in your business? Yeah. See Messi standing around. You saw the heat map of Messi. Yeah. Just in that sort of 1/3 on the right hand side. And he sees opportunity and he's like a predator, goes off. He's 41 years old, can't run up and down anymore. But he preserves his energy, right? And that's where we are. We want to be snipers. We want to sit and wait patiently for the market to come to us. Okay? This is not a game of winning overnight and going home. Traders, good people show up every single day to trade. The problem with this industry is people give it a bit of a go. They meet some charlatans who promise them the earth over a short space of time. Most people don't have enough capital to actually make meaningful returns when they start. But you can have capital to make meaningful returns if you're willing to put some work in to actually build that capital. So say you're starting with £500 or £1,000. Yeah, if you can start with £1,000 or $1,000. The broker will usually give you some bonuses, whether it's 20% or double it, so you've got more capital to play with. Sorry, that was 11 minutes past. I want to just press the button. I'm a minute late. You shouldn't be. Neutral, so we're just watching the market, right? So if you think, right, I'm going to spend the next 12 months building this capital. I want to build it to a certain point, whether it's $25,000, $50,000, and then I want to start withdrawing some money. Right? Stop looking at it like a golden goose. Because as soon as you eat the goose, you got no more eggs. Fundamentals in business and life don't change. I've had lots of traders. Oh, Cam, but I needed the money. Really? Right? Why don't you sort the rest of your life out and just look at this as an investment? Look at this as your working capital. Look at this as a way whereby you won't need to do that again. You can turn £1,000 into 40, 50, 60,000 pounds in the space of 12 months, including losing days. I can teach you how to do that. Right? But you've got to do your part. I can't organize it. I can't want it. I can't stop you from withdrawing. It's your money. But if you make a plan, yeah, if you make a plan, then the only thing is sticking to it. Right? That's all we have to do. Time for lemon water. Well done. Congratulations, Raj. So whether it's lemon water, whether it's hot water, whether it's cold water, whether it's herbal tea, whatever it is, your morning ritual, it's very important to start your day off. Yeah. So there she goes, giving us the movement that we needed. Yeah. So it was neutral, but you could have been in from the previous trade. Yeah. So it's neutral, 54%. There's nothing going on. In 2 minutes, we get the direction of the market. Don't worry. Don't get FOMO. Okay. Never get FOMO about the market. So who are you? Who's here this morning? Introduce yourselves. Don't be shy. Let me know. So we do this 5 mornings a week. Right. Every single morning we do this. Okay. Trade the gold market. We open the London session live, and we break down and we go through trades, go through mindset, go through education about money, because they didn't teach you that at school, did they? Right? They didn't teach anybody anything. Right? They taught me what certain cloud shapes were, Nimbus and all the rest of it, which really helped me a lot in my life. Right? It doesn't help anything. Beautiful. So if you're in the cell from the previous card, beautiful. Got a lovely profit on a couple of cells that I'm in from earlier this morning. So let's see where the market goes. It's 15 minutes past. We're going to refresh the trade cards. If you've got access to those, sell 76%, all the way down to 14 on the TP. So market's going down nicely. Let's just have a look. We'll have a look on a 5 minutes, see where it could go. There you go. So the low point was 40.22. That was hit only at 7:35 this morning. So less than an hour ago, we hit 14.22, right? I was trading that down. It was nice. So there you go. Heading towards TP1. So as you can see, I've got the free version of TradingView. No need to pay for it if you don't want to. You don't need any of the indicators or anything that they offer. So the adverts are a bit annoying, but apart from that, it is what it is. That's TP1. TP1 again. Nice trade. TP1 it's sitting at, so it could come a lot lower, I think, today. There is some news, as we said, at 1:30, so we need to be careful of that. Other than that, we're all good. 15 minutes, 30 minutes. Yeah, that's the only one. And then what we have loads of these, all the way down to here. 4017, 34,000. It just puts it into perspective, right? So it's been down here, 3981, 3941. And then of course, where we actually are. So it started going back a little. So it gave you TP1. So had time to secure those on several fronts, right? Always movement in the market, especially when you're on the 1 minute, right? It's quite noisy, but it's good for scalpers. Back down to TP1 again. 18 minutes past, but 2 more minutes before we take the next trade card. Completely machine learning, fully automated, runs for 23 hours a day. You can put down a trade card at any point in your trading day. That was nice. I really needed that this morning. Been up since 5, just before 5. So TP1 again. Is it going to push through is the main thing. Yeah, I think it is. Maybe not now, but I think it's going to push through today. So London has opened. And naturally, we can see that it's a big share sell, big share. So engulf the previous candle. Yeah, that's TP2. Just gone past this body here, which was yesterday's lows at 9 a.m. and 8 a.m. So that was 8 o'clock candle yesterday. Yeah, doing virtually the same as it did a day ago. Just rinse and repeat most of the time. Yeah. So then from 9 till 10, it actually bought. So does it climb? Does it do the same as it did yesterday? Does it carry on going down? I think the news is different today. Yeah. But as always, you've got to guard with stop losses. yeah, in the appropriate places. If you don't know where to put them, ask me a question and I'll let you know. I'll go through that with you. Any questions you've got about trading, pop them in the chat and I will talk you through them. That's the only way you're going to learn. Okay? If you want to become a profitable trader, you've got to work at it. You've got to learn, you've got to ask questions. Okay? And that's what we're here for. 8:20. If you don't have access to the trade cards, just scan that QR code. Sell 79%, really high, all the way down to 14.14. We don't enter when there's a buy candle or a sell. Don't know how far it's going to reverse up. Apart from that, looks like the market is selling. That's from data, not my feelings. Okay. I'm going to look to take that trade. Yeah, there she goes. It'll play around, set your stop losses, set your TPs. It's all on your trade cards. Even the light version that you guys get if you're just coming into it, it's all there. Market's holding steady. I've actually entered the market on that trade as a sell. That's my third and final trade. I've already got 2 open. All sells. You should be into profit. Kind of sat there now, not a lot of movement over the last few minutes, but that's fine. As long as it's in the right direction, we are absolutely okay. Okay, TP set, stop loss set. No need to look at it now. I can put it away. Don't need to concern myself. It'll hit one of those. Defined outcome, right? That's what it's at. And that's what we're all about, is taking the stress out of trading. As soon as you have a stop loss, you know how much money you can possibly lose on that trade. If you get to move your stop loss into profitable territory, better than break even, you know then it's a guaranteed profit. As small as it is, it's not the profit that we're looking at. What you've done is you've removed the risk of losing any money. You've removed all risk from that trade. Okay? Now it becomes just a case of how much profit you can make. So there's stages of a trade. There's 3 or 4 stages of a trade. Right? First you're placing the trade. Just give me 1 second. So there's 3 or 4 stages of a trade. So first of all, you make the decision without hesitation to take the trade. As soon as you take the trade, the first thing you do is put in your stop loss. The second thing you do is put in your TP. Now you have something called a defined outcome. So you know exactly how much money you are going to make or you could lose on that trade. So immediately that happens, your anxiety levels should come down. Now managing that trade is the next job that you have, is to try and move your stop loss to break even So as soon as it's moved to break even, so the market moves in the direction that you want it to, we're not worried about the take profit at this stage. Okay, so the market then moves and you then immediately go and place your stop loss at break even. Don't do it too quickly. You need to allow the trade to breathe. If you're forever fearful of losing money in the market, perhaps this is not the thing for you. Anybody that goes into business, anybody that starts a company knows there is a downside to it. Okay? And no business makes money every single trading day. A lot of seasonal businesses lose money for large parts of the year and they only make it at a certain point. You know, Christmas gift companies, Valentine gift companies, fireworks companies, companies that sell goods for the summer, companies that sell goods for the winter. So large parts of their year is spent not making any money. And it's no different with trading. So once you have gotten to the point where you're at break even for your stop loss, that is known as a free trade. So now you have a free trade. You cannot lose any money on that trade. So say then the trade carries on moving into TP1, TP2 for you. At some point, you move your stop loss to better than break even. Now the only thing that can happen is you can make money from that trade. And then if you carry on doing that, it's called trading with stop loss. So as the trade gets more and more profit, you make more and more money. At some point, of course, you'll have to close that trade and move on to the next one. That's what scalping is all about. So every 5 minutes, we can take a new trade card, or you can choose the 15-minute time frame, the 30-minute, or an hour. That's entirely up to you. The technology works on all time frames. That is what I'm trying to do, is to teach you to remove the stress, remove the anxiety, learn the technique of how to manage your trade after you've placed it. And that way you can look to become a successful and profitable trader. Take what you want from the market on your terms. So shut up there. Always reversals. I may have missed a trade card at 25, but that's what you've got access to that. You don't need me to hold your hand and show you that every single time, okay? My job is not to make you press the button. I don't care whether you do or not. It's your account. You've got to do what's right for you, okay? Market always has retracements. A buying market always has sells, and a selling market always has buys. It's part of the market, okay? But just try and understand where we're going with this. So I've got 2 more minutes. Oops. Okay, keep it and record it for posterity. Get the language right, make sure we're compliant. So whilst I'm working with you guys, I'm working on producing better and better documentation, better and better teachings. And then some of the time I'm recording those now separately so that we've got this. This stuff just comes sometimes. I don't do anything that's scripted, as you know, not edited, not scripted. This is real, okay? And then some of those things are coming to me. So now I'm developing the habit of actually getting AI to record those things. So it came back with some stuff, and I said, okay, now let's record it. Yeah. I said it came out with unrecorded. I'm going to just tell it. I meant recorded, of course, not unrecorded, which is what the dictation came out as. So that was a sure mistake. So market's coming down nicely. It's 30 minutes past. We take the next trade card. Should be making decent money. Yeah. You get retracements. Yeah. We're selling. Yeah, Raj said it this morning. We're selling at this moment in time. Down to 23 for 5 minutes. So 22 is the day's low point. See if it goes through that. Once it does, then I think we'll get a much lower market this morning. So it's gone through that point there, showed you that. It was up here when we had a look at that. Right, so now this is the point, 21. It's already been to this point here, 23. So if it goes through that, again, there's some profits to be made, okay? So just adjusting my TPs and my stop losses. It's called trade management. So had a little bit of retracement again on the last minute, coming down again. So we had that one. May have frightened you. You thought, what's going on here? Nothing's going on apart from retracement. Yeah, and it's to shake out weak traders. Don't think the market knows. Don't think the experts sitting in the banks know that there's about 25% of us are retail traders. And soon as we see a loss, we start running. They see opportunity. What you want to look at is this a better entry? Is this a better opportunity? That's when the layering comes in. There's lots of things to learn here. Making profit comes as a byproduct of all those things. So 33 minutes past. Market is still buying. I said so selling. My apologies. So market is, like I said, it's selling at this moment in time. So TP 2 was 22, hit that. Yeah. So it's up to you whether you're taking these trades or whether you're leaving it in, right? As a runner, as something where you set your stop loss to better than break even, or TP1 or TP2, and leave it to run. Yeah. TP1s are absolutely amazing because you're in and out of the market, and I think it's a great first step when you first start trading. But as you advance, you want more and more profits from less and less trades. That's the key. Yeah. That's the key. As a master trader, you don't want to be trading every day. Okay. But you're not a master trader on day one, are you? You're an apprentice. Yeah. So it's time to go to school, learn the craft. So you find people that are experts in their field, the higher their. Give me 1 second. Why is this doing this for? Sorry, I'm just keep ending up in the wrong place. So as I said, when we start out, we're not the masters, right? Master traders don't trade every day. And that's the position that you want to get to. But we're not there. We're apprentices, we're learning, right? We have to work hard. So if you notice, the higher up somebody goes, the less work they seem to do, the more money they get. That's because that's experience. They're now better able to deploy their skills in the areas that they want. Okay, so I know master traders now that trade 2 or 3 days of the week, get the percentages. They still have a target, they get that, and they're not in the market. I was having a conversation yesterday, and my trader friend said, I'm done for the week. And I said, really, what's your target every week? 10%. So you finish trading? Yeah, most of the time, Cam, I can get my trading done in about 3 days. Notice they didn't try and do it in 1 day. That's probably too much, right? So you start out as the apprentice, being paid the least, having the least amount of success, working the hardest. But the more you learn your trade, the better you get at it, the better the results, the less the work that you have to do. That's the cycle of becoming successful and becoming an expert in your field. And that's the aim of everybody here should have. We want to become masters because all the money in any industry is in the top 10%. Yeah? 90% of people share 10% of the wealth, and 10% of the people share 90% of the wealth. But they paid the price for it. Don't ever think that anybody got there. As Zig Ziglar once said, if you see a turtle sitting on a fence post, you know it had help getting up there. It didn't get up there by itself, right? That analogy is never lost on me. So climbs back. I'm going to go back. So 24. Got some decent profits. Market's still selling. And I think it will continue to sell. Thanks for the thumbs up. Still at school, and we'll every day as you learn. Yeah, can't succeed without turning up. Woody Allen, I believe it was saying 90% of success is turning up. Yeah. But we don't do it because there's things to do. We have busy lives, or so-called busy lives. The thing is, you want to separate the two words: busy from busy from productive. Did you have a productive day or did you have a busy day? They're two very different things. They're very, very different. Yeah. Productive day doesn't necessarily mean it's a busy day. One of the things that I try and do is I try and list 3 tasks that I'd like to get done. Big tasks, right? Got 1 today in my list. So as soon as I finish this, I'm going to do that task. Okay, got 1 left. We've done some. And again, using AI, I produced a list of things that I need to do. So we said we wanted to get to this point and have this. What are the things that we need? Yeah, 2 of those things I did yesterday. 1 that was last night, early hours of the morning. And 1 of them I was going to do this morning. I said, hey, wait a minute. What about this? Okay, let's hold that off. We're gonna revisit that on the 1st of October. The beautiful thing about technology is that it will remind you of that. If you set the alarms, if you set the systems, it will remind you. So just phenomenal. Next level stuff. So market is reversing a little bit. So it may have hit the bottom. We don't know. This is where your stop losses and everything else comes in. Okay. I still think it's a selling market today, but that doesn't mean there's not going to be any buying. Where are we? 40 minutes past. Still selling. Big push up there. 27. More to come down. Around my entry point on a couple of trades now. That's the music that I play. That's all my stuff. If you follow me, you'll have seen it. Just looking at some of the messages from you guys whilst we So, whilst we've got a few moments, we're selling from 26, 27. Yeah. Right, one thing I forgot to do was I forgot to stand up. So I promised myself I would do that. That's not the highest point of my desk. Get rid of that chair and stand for the next 30, 40 minutes with you. Different energy, right? So 42 minutes past. We've been selling all morning. Market's been doing well. A little bit of retracement there, probably bigger than anything else. Is that a clue? Just sometimes market grabbing some liquidity, going up or down, whichever way it goes. It doesn't really matter. We're on a 5-minute trade card. So if you want to follow that and take TP1s and 2s, by all means do that. So perhaps I've got a little bit ahead of myself, a little bit more experienced people like Raj that are on here that can take advantage of those things. Okay? And don't be excited because it's an exciting market. I love what we do. Absolutely love it. In your front room, yeah? In your dining room, in your kitchen. Investment of a few £100 and you're in business. The world's biggest market. Yeah, $7 trillion a day. $7 trillion would change hands today. Yeah? Foreign exchange, currencies, yen, dollar, pounds, euros, copper, coffee, bananas, commodities, right? The things that really go on behind the scenes. When you go to that supermarket, pick up those apples, somebody's bought and sold those. Yeah, somebody's transported those, somebody's picked those. Because we don't do a lot of that stuff. Because we live in cities, sometimes you lose the chain of events that's actually gone to get that item to the supermarket. Yeah, Amazon's really spoiled us. Order it this afternoon. Sometimes you get it in the same day, right? I've got some stuff that I've ordered from a company, like taking 7 days. Where is it? Right? The other day, I had something from Amazon. It was supposed to come the day before. It came yesterday. I'm like, where is it? Where is that price? I waited a day for this. Ridiculous how we are. But that's where life is, right? And thank God. So convenient. But at the same time, never forget the appreciation. So you're part of a $7 trillion market. Don't need a website, don't need a marketing company, don't need to make any phone calls, don't need to make any cold calls, don't need to make any appointments. Learn to press the button. That's all you have to do. Follow a system, follow the formula, right? Because that's what it is. It's a formula. As soon as you can do that, yeah, the world's your oyster. You can make money. 45 minutes. I'm going to take the next trade card. Still selling. But we don't enter when there's a green candle, okay? My AI is asking me, do you want me to do this? Amazing. Absolutely amazing where we're at, the point that we want. So you can be either scared that AI is going to replace your job or use AI to do a better job. Yeah. We're trading with AI. Those trade cards are generated by AI. Yeah, by machine learning, by code that somebody put in. So market obviously is not doing what it was data is showing. We don't enter. Simple. Had plenty of TPs this morning. We'll probably have more. Yeah. And of course, at some point, the market does turn, right? Still got a selling hour. 47 minutes in, we've got 13 more minutes. Yeah, let's turn those into scripts and the most fantastic posts for LinkedIn. Trying to multitask and use my time as wisely as I can. Yeah, I have a lot of things that I want to achieve, a lot of things I want to do. I'd said a few weeks ago that I'd really defined and written down what I wanted. And then there was other things that I was doing that I could no longer do. If I could either have this or I could have that. Yeah, there was no compromising between. There was nothing in the middle that I could have this and that I could and I could do that. So I couldn't carry on doing what I was doing previously to get what I now wanted. So those things all jettisoned, had to be given up. Very hard. Very hard to change habits, very hard to change your program. But I made the decision and then I stuck to it. So certain things I'm making changes in my own personal life, changes in my business, and changes the way I do business, who I do business with. Yeah. Very principles. We've written everything down. So that's the hour. Maybe it'll finish negative. Maybe it'll actually finish positive. I don't know. So it's down here, all the way down here. It's gone right up in the last 10, 15 minutes. So, but then this turning point. That's lovely. So I've now produced, whilst I'm with you, first time I've done it, a content, produce some tasks for myself, still selling. Okay, let's see. If you have any questions for me, ask me, right? You're not going to grow by passively watching. You're only going to grow by being here, subscribing, not being afraid. Yeah, lose your fears. Stop believing the things that people have told you that you can't achieve. Okay, many people told me loads of those things. What they're actually saying is they can't achieve them. Okay, they want to limit you. They want to protect you. Sometimes they love you. When your parents tell you, don't do that. Yeah, they're not saying that because they don't want you to do it. They're saying that because they love you. Yeah. We had an awful time when my son said, I want to go to Australia. And it's 10,000 miles away. And I said, none of us want you to go, but we also want you to do what's best for you. Yeah? If that's going to Australia, you go. Okay? Comes back in a couple of weeks' time. 2 weeks today. Let's have a look. So looking forward to that. Exactly 2 weeks today. So the market's meandering up there. It was down here at 22s, 23s. It's at 30s now. Let's see. Maybe it's done the low of the day. Not from what I'm reading. So decent profits now. If you've got in that on the sell, I didn't track it, so nice drop. Really nice drop. $30-40 pips in less than a minute. Get rid of that little ad. That's what happens when you have the free version of TradingView. Put in something where I can't pay, it just keeps stopping me. Set it up, it can't collect any money from my account. I got fed up at some stage in the past, so I've never bothered since. I have the free version instead of paying £200 a year. Why pay for something when you can have it for free, right? A bit like trading with me, right? Education's all free. Why go and pay for it? Yeah? Why go to a weekend webinar or a seminar, whatever, where you pay £3,000-4,000 and then they're still selling you some stuff because they want you to join their 1 year academy at £25,000, £30,000, £40,000. That seminar circuit is so old. So 54 minutes, we're going to take the last trade signal of the hour. See where the market takes us. May end up slightly as a buying hour. Let's have a look. No, it's come all the way back. See that? It was up here 2-3 minutes ago. Come all the way back with those candles, and it could engulf the hour, the last hour yet. Let's see what happens. But we're not worried about the charts, what they look like. We're just worried about the profit that we make. That's all we're concerned about, is how much money we're making, okay? So it's ranging now. So a little bit of buying in the last 5 minutes of the hour. Let's have a look. We'll refresh that. Neutral. So you get markets. Understandable. And the data points to that. That's what the data's at. No opinion, no nothing. No feelings. It was right at that feel. Right? We do it all the time, don't we? I feel it's going to do this, or I feel it's going to do that. Yeah, don't. Look at the facts. Black and white. And we have that opportunity for the machine learning, the trade cards, just facts, not a human being's interpretation. Data's interpretation. Yeah, the 30 million data points it takes to actually come to that. We decided to embrace it all wholeheartedly. I think we should create a separate file, or maybe even a separate project for all the videos and the video scripts that we do. We could either contain it within TWK and the AFL stuff could be separate, or we could have it as a standalone project in its own right. Let me know your thoughts on that. So, top of the hour, finishing with buys. Still a selling hour, couldn't get rid of it. And finishing 3 minutes. So nice drop there. That was buying all the way, so you wouldn't have gone into anything. We had a neutral. Do you have the gold briefing file in your project files here, or do I need to import that because that goes out next Friday? So, top of the hour. Let's see what next hour brings. So in 2 minutes, we take the first trade card for the next hour, see where that's going. Yeah. So the first half an hour, 40 minutes were really good. Second, not so good because market started rising. Data still pointing to a market that's selling. Okay, we had some nice, decent drops, had some nice trades, took some nice profits. Second half of the hour, not so clever because it's been buying. So if you look at the last 30 minutes, let's do that before. Yeah, so it's sold for 30 minutes and bought for 30 minutes. And that's where we need to be, okay? So, CFP Sunday, if you're trying to tell us what to do in the market, I will throw you out, okay? We're not that kind of group, my friend. They exist on TradingView, all that shit that you can do over there. Okay, so 59 minutes. One more minute. 9 o'clock trade card. Let's see what the market wants to do. So we had, like I said, we had an hour of two halves. one of buying and one of selling. First half an hour was selling, and the second one was buying. But the data was all pointing to selling. Market conditions changed. Now we have, it's really interesting, we have a buy trade card. So watch now for the market. Don't enter the buy when we're selling. And the market's actually selling, okay? That's what I meant. I personally think it's still coming down, but I use the thing personal think. I shouldn't be personally thinking anything. I should be just trading the facts in terms of what they are. Okay? That's what I should be doing. So remember, the data just looks at data. That's all it is. It's data. It's not telling us to do one thing or the other. So there you go. Yeah. So if you want to enter, that's the place to do it, because you've got the green candle now. We'll push this down just in case. So a lot of resistance there, or support up to this point. So if it breaks through, let's see what happens. Break it through now. Right. The data is always much more accurate than any of our opinions are ever do, because they're thoughts and feelings, right? And thoughts and feelings don't get us anything, and they're usually wrong. Okay, so just be careful though. Like I said, if the market is selling, don't be entering a buy. So there you go. That's TP1. Yeah. And so much for somebody coming up and saying, sure, yeah, feelings, idiotic ideas, senses, thoughts. No, facts. That's what we're dealing. TP1. You could have had that, maybe more. But if you're going for more, then set your stop loss at break even or better than break even, okay? But let your trade breathe as well, because it's come back a little bit now. So let me have a look now. So plenty of room in the market. Mid to 40.65, plenty of room. 33, give you TP2 on your buy. So our opening in a positive in terms of the market's buying. So how far does it go? So as we said, it was selling for 30 minutes. It's been buying for 30 minutes. There comes the retracement. Don't know how long that will last. You saw it here. So this candle there, market gathering pace, doing the same. This could be the same, okay? But we don't work in the area of speculation. We don't think about where the market's going to go. We act in where the trade cards are pointing. So beautiful. You could have had TP2 on that trade. It's coming back. So this is when we're talking about moving, having your stop loss in place, taking the profit. Little and often, right? You do this 20 times a day, I guarantee you'll be at 2 to 3% a day. If you do it sensibly. When I say guarantee, I mean that figuratively, of course. That you shouldn't have any issues producing your results that you're looking for. And at 2% a day, £10,000 turns into, £1,000 turns into 10, 20, £30,000. £27.50 a day will give you from 0 to £10,000 every year. So that $5 latte is really expensive every year, right? So don't be walking to work and just grabbing that Costa every morning. That's £25 a week. £100 a month, $1,200 a year. So next trade card, So we've got a bit of a mixed market now. We've got a bit of a mixed bag. Still saying buy, right? So it could be the same trade repeated again. Let's see what happens. Let's see what this hours bring. Pretty neutral for now. Yeah, so if you look at the hour candle, it'll be pretty neutral. Almost no movement. It's done that and done that, obviously, but the body of it. Yeah. There she goes. So since we took that trade card, it's been red. You wouldn't have entered that trade on a very simple idea that you don't buy when the market's selling and you don't sell when the market's buying. That has saved me so much trouble over the years. Simply saying, I'm not placing that. No matter what indicator, what trader, what mentor has said the opposite of that. Right? So it doesn't. So that was the first minute of selling, right? Now it's buying. So now's the time if you're going to enter that market, because you've got a better entry than a minute ago. So that's the time to take your second entry if you're layering, right? Or your third entry if it's still coming down. So market having these little jumps, only slight. Let's see where she goes. $9:07, so 3 more minutes for the next trade card. If you haven't got them, just scan that QR code. I've got a light version of them, absolutely free, no obligation whatsoever. Yeah, just take your Telegram, press the button and you'll see them, okay? It's a trial for a few days. Not that we charge when it goes going, we just need a bit more commitment and we need you to be in the community, but we realize you may like just try them. Yeah, so just try them. And if you want to join us, you can do. If you don't, that's completely up to you. By the way, Trade Camp, there's no terms and conditions on it. If you trade and you just want the mindset, the methodology, that's absolutely fine. Do whatever you need to do. Right? So I'm going to check something on my system. So I'm doing that. So market's making small moves, drop down considerably. 1 minute to the next trade card. Lots of education around trading gold. So try and grab that. Lots of videos people post. We have a massive back catalog, over 200 videos now ourselves of Trade with Cam. Lots of nuggets in there. 10 past. Let's see if we've got a change of direction for the market. Selling 58%. Yeah. I mean, it goes the green candle, but that's odds law. There she goes. I think the trend is down today. We'll have retracements. We'll have, there you go. Yeah, TP1. TP1. And I do trade with you. Yeah. All the time. So I'm in 3 sells at this moment in time. Never want to share that with you in terms of when the market's buying and we draw down all the rest of it. That's fine. It is what it is. Got 2 in profit now, 1 at break even. So I can't, it's very difficult for me to trade for 5 minutes with you guys because I just don't get the attention in terms of how I'm managing my trades as well as you do. Can't be talking to you, I'm doing all of that. And so I tend to trade a little bit longer time frame than that. So you could have had TP2 on that trade quite easily. And you've got to be managing those. You can't be watching TV or, whatever else it is that happens. You need to sit down. You need to allow 15, 20 minutes for each trade to see it out, okay? The beauty is, with the system we have, you can do that at 11 o'clock at night. The only time you can't do that is between 10 and 11 when the market's closed. So when the market is open, you can be taking these free trade cards and trading. You do that completely. Okay? So the market here is TP2 and it's come back. Still sitting at TP1, by the way. So if you'd got into that quickly, could have had TP2, been out, or if you're still in. See, this is interesting. These retracements are always interesting. And sometimes it's just the market shaking out stop losses, shaking out weak traders. We'll never know what the reason is. So 12 minutes past 9, got 3 more minutes to manage this trade, do whatever you want with it. Should really be out of it in the first minute. There's a nice drop, nice profit. Yeah, book them, book your profits, take it, wait for the next one. Like I said, 20-ish trades at a very lowish risk size should get a decent return. It's better than trying to get it on one trade, because if you get that wrong, that's a big lot size, a big loss. Yeah, smaller trades, lots of them, profit little enough, and TP1s, TP2s, and that will balance itself. You'll lose some. Yeah, there'll be some losing trades, sure, without a doubt. So the market might be ranging slightly higher than it was in the early part of the last hour. So the market is ranging all the way down to 22. It's been down to 25. It's only 30 pips, but can make a world of difference to you when you're trading. It's at the lower end now, 22 and 28. It may push through further this hour. We don't have to concern ourselves too much. To try and give you some background to why gold does what it does. Once you start understanding it in the market, obviously it becomes easy. As I was saying, the more of an expert you become, the better you'll become at trading. So that's TP2 again. Yeah. If it pushes through, it'll do it a big way, I think. I'm talking about downwards. Pushes through, I think it'll push it. I think it'll really push. Yeah. Couldn't get beyond these numbers here, 40.15. No guarantee of that, of course, and nobody knows what it's actually going to do. But my thoughts are, when I'm seeing previous patterns, that it's trying to push through, it's there, it'd be there earlier as well, right? So the bears are like, let's push it down, right? So this is the level, I think, 22. That's the low of the day. Pushes through that, and we'll get a big drop. 15 minutes past. Selling 72%. 1 minute. Yeah, don't enter on a green candle. I don't know how far it's going to trace. So when I say that, the reason I say that is you're trying to sell and the market is going up. Selling now, that's the time to enter. So if the market's going up, you don't know how far. And then as you're pressing the button, as soon as you go in, you've lost money. So don't press it at that time, right? So always make the trend your friend. A bit of retracement on there. A little bit more. So we had TP2 there. $17 minutes. Yeah, so the last trade card. Sell. Conditions met 72%. Direction and confidence. Direction means how much confidence is there in the direction of the trade card. What is it saying? Yeah. I tend to look for like 65 plus. And it's pure data, as you know. So very rangy. See where it goes. 18 minutes, got 2 more minutes. I've got 12 minutes of standing with you guys today. Right? Just messing around. Trying to learn something all the time, right? What can I do? Push myself. I couldn't do that. So, 19 minutes, got 1 more minute. Hope you're enjoying this session. I'm back with you at 1 o'clock for the last time this week. We do a Thursday session, we don't do one on Friday. So, 19 minutes. Let's see where she wants to go. So it's kept trying to get through the low of the day, hasn't done it, retracing back a little bit, I'll have a look after we take the trade card at 20 past, see what the hour's doing. Probably nothing. So push now to buying. Let's see what the trade card's selling. Buying, so buy sell market now. Yeah, that's gone straight to TP1. So as soon as you saw that, you need to hit that. So trade card data confirming what was going on in the market. $9.21, we had a buy, just went straight to TP1. So again, data is pointing to buying. So the market again, really ranging now, which is quite nice some days. I used to used to trade the ranging market a lot of times. I used to do that. That's what before we had all these tools, obviously. When I was doing it myself with indicators, etc. Back in the day, I used to really enjoy the ranging market. Traded it well. Because you go here, right? So look, goes up from here, or get to this point, got some indicators, get to this point, put in a buy. Get to this point, comes down here, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy. Sell, buy, sell, buy. You don't have to get into every single one. Problem is I never stopped. Yeah, problem was always didn't know when it was going to end. Never appreciated you've done your target, whether it's 2, 3%, whatever it is. Yeah. And that was the issue. So that's TP1 again. And I've still got a chance to do that again. So I'll be back with you at 1 o'clock for the last time this week. So if you want to join me and continue with your journey of learning, being educated about gold, about the different ways of trading, the things that you can use in your own account, yeah, then come and spend some time and learn this business. And if finances are tough for you, you're working or not working, or you have a business that's not really working, have a look at trading. It's simple from setting up, it's simple from running, it's simple from the idea that you don't need to be an expert in marketing, sales, accounting, all that kind of stuff. That you just need to learn the one skill of trading. And even then, a lot of that's done for you. There's a lot of tools that we've obviously got. And then you can employ those tools for relatively easily, and they're free. And you can be up and running in a couple of weeks' time from start to finish. Making money consistently is the skill, obviously. But if you're careful, you follow a disciplined approach, then that shouldn't be a major problem. The problem is people overtrading, people not having any capital, and then trying to become millionaires overnight. And the nonsense that we see on social media telling you that you can. No free lunch. I don't think there's any free lunches in life. So we're developing the business, changing certain things, the way we do something, evolving, looking at new products, new ideas, better ways to deliver our education. So market continued to push upwards. Let's see, refresh. We're buying 72%. Candles green on the 1 minute. So good, really good session again. So the market, as I said, sold for 30 minutes from 8:30, bought for the next 30 minutes, and then bought again. So this is what she did. We came here and we were selling this morning from 8 and 8:30. We bought, and then we came all the way down. We're buying again. Okay. These are patterns that you see time and time again. Is the day still selling? Yes, it is. So we're playing in this field here, this one here. Okay, this is where we're at. We need to be respectful and mindful of what the market's doing, but we live in the 1 minute and the 5 minutes as people that scout the market, people that learn to scout the market, and have a strategy. Work out what strategy you want. If this suits you, brilliant. If it doesn't, find one that does and stick to it. Okay? Keep pointing this out to you. What's your one thing? What's your one thing? Yeah? Every single time I've had any doubt in my mind, all I get from Mrs. J is, what's your one thing? She's so focused. Yeah, what's your one thing? I've got 20 freaking things I want to do all the time, right? She's like, sticks to one thing. The discipline, incredible. I'm getting there too. That's why I keep it on my desk. So we're at a buy. She shot up. Yeah, to TP1. So the market came up to this point here. Oh, I don't want any of that nonsense. What am I doing? So market came up to there. Here. Went down. It may be topping out at this point now. May not come to this point. There is weakness in the market. That doesn't mean it never buys when there's weakness. And when there's strength in the market, it doesn't mean it doesn't ever sell. It always has a range that it does. And we see that all the time, okay? So appreciate that and learn about that. So there is a range within the market. There is selling within a buying market and buying within a selling market. Just appreciate that. Just putting a point of view across that. Went up to there, shot straight down. Maybe it's topped out there. It may come back and do a bit more. We don't know. It might be a little retracement like here. These candles here. But now we've got this kind of arc pattern here, there. So these are just observations of just when you look at the markets, what do you think, right? What is it doing? And it keeps you interesting. and you're learning and interpretation. So still buy. Yeah, so I was obviously looking at the signal there. Maybe you were as well. So we just talking a second ago that maybe it won't go to that. Of course it's gone. It's done that, right? Just checking a few things. So a good session this morning, buying and selling. And the trade cards have been spot on. I think you had one when the market was changing, when the data was pointing one way and the market was going another. But generally speaking, the last couple of hours have been really good. Heading towards TP1, could have had some decent profits anyway if you'd entered for a buy. There you go. That's TP1. Beautiful trade. Yeah, absolutely spot on. So we have the buy at 72% direction confidence. Could have had a decent profit on that. It's coming back. So the market's rising beautifully. So we bought and sold, bought and sold. Obviously it does that. Interesting times. All right, labour the fact that you could have had your profits. Had two massive surges at a couple of occasions. So it may be now doing this, what it did here. Maybe doing that. It's been a little bit higher. It might come now, do this. Okay. But we're there. You know, we don't really need to analyze. We just need to analyze our reaction to the trade cards. We just need to follow those. That's where we need to be. But once we've got that, it's done. Yeah, jobs are good. So 2 more minutes. Two more minutes before we take the next trade card. Stretch. Yeah. Oh. Ooh. So I'm trying personally, like I said to you, that you should be on a mission to do whatever it is that you want to do. One of the things is that I bought a Tesla stand up, right? Except I never stood on it. So now I'm doing that much more actively. I feel a lot healthier for it actually. That I'm actually participating in that part of life, if you like. It's very sedentary trading. Very, very sedentary. So So I want to thank all of you that subscribe to the channel. And if you haven't, please do so. It's the only thing I ask you to do. Makes us better. YouTube distributes us to a wider audience. And the great thing about trading is, there's not a finite amount of money. We could all be making money. Right? Normally in business, there's a winner and a loser. If you make, I have to lose, etc., etc. Win-lose is where the world is. But we're not in that place, right? We are in the place that every one of us can be profitable. So we're still showing buying, 70%. So we're in a buy candle, so have a look at that. But it could also have topped out, so be careful. Always stop loss, that's what it's there for, okay? Don't be afraid, but that's what your stop loss is there for, okay? So there's a difference between being afraid and being careful. There you go, heading towards TP1. Got to decide what you want from the market. And very often the market will give it to you. So an opportunity if you entered, to perhaps look at moving your stop loss, but don't strangle the trade, because then you unnecessarily hit the stop loss, because the closer it is, the easier it is to hit, right? There's always retracements. So give it some room to breathe. Don't strangle your trades. If you're not prepared to lose any money, don't be in the market. That's TP1, sorry. Yeah, there comes TP2. Great trades this morning. Absolutely magical. If you're happy with what we're doing, then make a point of joining us. You won't get rich in a day. Yeah? So let's have a look at the hour, 37 minutes where it's at. So another very solid buying hour. Last hour ended up with very little, had a lot of action, but the body of it was nothing. So it ended with more or less where it started. This hour has been solid buying. So obviously the Asian session sold solidly. 1 o'clock, well, really since 11, 1, 12, 1, 2, 3. So maybe he's trying to get some of that back. Maybe he's gone too far. We shall see. Pivot point, that's what that sign is. Doesn't mean it won't go carry on. Still going up, 35. Doesn't mean anything. Just means that the indicators historically think that it's probably a little bit overbought on the 1 minute. I just like those. It's just a hangover from the days when I used to use them. So I quite enjoy them. Just leaving it on. Just gives me a little reminder of just sanity check my trades. If the market's still buying, you just think we're close to where it will turn. Don't worry, I'll keep an eye out for you, okay? I'll let you know what's up. So we've got 39 minutes, got a minute now before we take the next one. take your next trade card. It's 940. Still buying 75%, even stronger. There's your green candle if you want to go. 35 is TP1 for me. 44 is TP5. They're hard up TP5s, by the way. Yeah, get to TP1 and then decide. It's going to be some retracement, some big pushes up. I've got a machine telling me, so it said something. So I said, "You're such a negative Nelly," right? I said, "Ha, fair, I'll take that." And prove me wrong. Go on then, prove me wrong. Goodness me. How far we've come. How quickly we've done it. Three minutes, and we've got 9:45. We've got about 15-20 minutes together. So let's make it count. Any questions you got, ask them here, okay? Let's have a look at that, see what we're doing. So we're buying, so there's your buy candle. If you're going to enter that trade, that's the time. 2 minutes into the time that we received the trade card. That's the third minute. So you've got to consider that, okay? And make some rules. By minute 3, I'm not going, regardless of what the market's doing. Okay, because you've got 2 more minutes to take there. Whatever you want, it's got to work for you, but have some rules. Take us 3 months to create a brand Bible, got everything in it. Now the AI is telling me, you said that you weren't going to use that word. We don't use it. I said, well, scrub it then. Right, that's what rules are for, not to be broken. Anytime I say anything that breaks at all of those things, we call it a brand Bible. So it's everything that we run, all our company runs through that now. Yeah? So we've got 1 more minute before we take the 9:45 trade card. We'll take 50 and the 55, and that'll be the last one. So we've got 3 more to take together. And then I'll be off at 10 o'clock, and then you guys can trade, do whatever it is that you want. And today, and for today only, I'm back at 1 o'clock. Okay? So you had a buy, Yeah, heading towards TP1. So we had a lot of movement. So obviously slow down the momentum as market can't very frantic pace have these very quick movements. Yeah, again, as I was saying, so I think we were here. Will it top out? Did that? It's going towards these 34s. Yeah, I think we're coming 22, 20, 30s. Yeah, heading towards that. So that's heading towards TP1 on that trade. But like I said, the movement's a little bit slower now. So this market's come back quite nicely. Got 3 hours of buying, even though we have plenty of selling in that as well. I think there's a lot of weakness in the market. I don't think it'll go much higher. And I think it'll stop and it will retrace. But then this afternoon's news could really send it a lot higher as well. But the news isn't as big as the figures that we had over the last couple of days. So I don't see it moving as much. That's been solid the last few minutes. That's TP1, by the way. So if you're in that trade, that's TP1. TP2, nice. So a little while ago, we had somebody come on and say short, and I took it by that. They were trying to influence us to do whatever. See how stupid that comment was? And this is the problem. Everybody's a self-proclaimed expert. We have a system, we have a formula that we stick to. We're disciplined traders. That's how we don't lose the shirts off our backs. By listening to, some sense or some feeling or some nonsense that somebody comes up with. The real traders aren't telling you that. Not telling you anything. They're just trading. They're not on YouTube. I'm an educator. That's why I'm here. I want to share my experiences. So 48 minutes. So 1 more minute. Before the next one. One more minute. Let's see where we're going. I'm about to hit a milestone in something that I'm doing at the moment, so I'm just checking for that, see what we're doing. So market dropped just a little, maybe giving itself some room on that last candle. Yeah, maybe it's going to, it's done what it needed to do and it needs to go down. 950. Still buying, 77% probability. I'll take a seat with you guys for the next 10 minutes. I think we've had amazing trade cards this morning. Been a really good session. A lot of TPs hit. So if you traded with me and followed the rules, should be some decent profit. Yeah. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? Growing your account steadily, small amounts all the time. Yeah. Having a business plan, treating it like a business, and not getting caught up in the hype. So we're coming to the end of our session today. So as I said, the market from 8 till 8:30 sold, then bought. And this session has been a real mixture of buying and selling. So as we come to the end this morning, it's been a solid buying hour. Last hour ended up doing nothing because it bought for 30 minutes and it sold for 30 minutes. So now we're heading towards TP1 on this trade again. So the idea is to trade carefully, grow our accounts slowly, not listen to any noise. Yeah. The trade card technology is proven, is second to none, and we can succeed as long as we follow the rules. All right, the 3 rules of entering, stop loss, TP. Once those are set, removes a lot of anxiety. Doesn't mean it makes hitting a stop loss any easier. It's not nice, but at the same time, we're in that business. So as Warren Buffett said, if you're not prepared to lose any money, don't be looking to make it. Don't go into business. So that's the mantra that I followed for the last 40 years that I've been in business. Yeah, always be prepared to give before you receive. And that's where it's at. So we've got about 8 minutes of our session to go today. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here. Hope you join me at 1 o'clock today, which is the last session that I'll be doing from 1 till 3. So tomorrow we only do the morning session on a Friday, as you guys who are here regularly know. And we'll wrap up tomorrow for the week because the gold market's only open Monday to Friday. Doesn't trade at the weekend, which is really convenient. It's nice. I know some people trade crypto and think how it goes through over the weekend, but then you know what? Where's your time if you're trading all the time? Remember, what you must do is get this market to work for you. You don't need to be working for the market. If you're looking to have this as your full-time job, your full-time career, have it as your business, then the last thing you want to do is swap an employer that you work for a market that you work for. Okay? So what you hopefully want is more time freedom and to increase your income. So work slightly less hours and have more money. So you don't want a new master that runs 23 hours a day, because that's what the market does Monday to Friday, right? Trades 23 hours a day. So you want to do your trading, have your goals that are set before you start trading. Once those goals are met, close your laptop, close your phone, however you trade, and get on with the rest of your day. Okay, that's what the best traders in the world are doing. They don't trade every day. They don't trade 12, 14, 16 hours a day. Yeah, there is such a thing as burnout. Okay, so you need to look after yourself. Market's coming down. Let's see what she does. We're going to take the last trade card in 1 minute, and then I'll be done for the morning. Obviously, you can carry on trading. If you don't have access to the trade cards, then just scan that QR code. You go straight in, get TWK Lite to get a lighter version of the full trade card. And if you want the full trade card, just reach out to me. There is a system. It is automated. You can go and do that. and it just asks you to open an account with our broker, fund it. All the links and everything are actually within that Telegram community, okay? So you can come and join us, and then you know what I'm talking about when we're talking about the full trade cards themselves. So let's take the last trade now, and let's see what it brings. So just going to press the button. Buy, 65% certainty, not quite as confident as the ones before, but still 65%. So remember, we don't go into that whilst in the green candle. Now, you don't need permission, just rules. Just follow the rules. Okay. So So that was the buy, not really doing anything. Yeah. Let's see where we go. Market's still going up. Green candles. I want to take the trade card on here. Oops. So as a buy, as we know, heading towards TP1. I'll walk you through the last trade. Heading towards TP1. Lovely trade. Yeah, all green candles so far. Started a couple of minutes before that. There's TP1. Okay. Beautiful. Right, guys, that's done. Yeah, I'll see you guys at 1 o'clock. Hope you had a lovely session. Hope you made some money. Market's continuing. The trade cards are continuing, whether you have the light version or the full fat version. They're continuing. So I'll see you at 1 o'clock sharp, and happy trading.